Prosecutor, you want to call your next witness?
The State Police Detective Richard Zarrillo.
Okay. Detective, you were under oath when we left you on Thursday afternoon. You are still under oath here today. You remember the oath that you gave, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. We were still in direct examination, so we will continue with Ms. Wallace.
Thank you, Judge. Good morning, Detective.
Good morning.
We left off when we were here last with the conclusion, essentially, of your investigation of day one. Do you recall that?
Yes.
Okay, and I wanted to show you some pictures. I know we looked at a couple, but I have a few more. It's going to actually be, for the record, S1E, slides 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24, and S1C, slides 28, 29, 129, and 130. I'm showing counsel. Sorry.
So, Marie, is there objection to them being published now, or do you need the foundation before?
I don't know, Judge. There's no objection. This thing can publish now.
Okay, great. Thank you.
If we could please have S1E, slide 20. Detective, can you describe what we're looking at here?
The rear of the structure, the house,
All right, so if you're facing the house, where would this specifically be located?
from the roadway, this would be to the right or to the west of the structure.
Do you see the door there?
Yes,
Okay, what is on the other side of that door?
a garage.
Okay, and if you're looking head-on at the photo, is there, you spoke earlier about an electrical meter. Where would that be located?
That's on the left side of the door, excuse me, on the corner of the structure.
Okay, and how about the generator? Where would that be?
Behind the shrubs on the right side of the door.
Can we have slide 21, please? Do you see the electrical meter in this picture?
Not 100% sure. I do see the meter pan cover.
Sorry, the meter box.
I do see the electrical service panel on the left side.
Okay, and can we please have the next slide, 22? Okay, what are we looking at here?
The meter service panel.
Okay, that's the meter service panel?
Yes, the electrical service comes into the structure from
Okay. Now, just from this location, where was Keith's body located, specifically from there?
behind me, if I'm looking at this, and to my left.
What, if anything, did you observe about that panel right there that we see?
The handle is in the down position, and there's no meter attached to it or a cover on it.
Can you circle that handle for us? What, if anything, did it mean to you that the handle was in the down position?
At that moment, I did not know what it was about until I looked into it a little further. It secured the meter into the box, or was able to bypass the service for the electric company to do work there.
Okay. When you say you put the meter into the box, what are you referring to?
There are clamps that hold the meter itself into the box, and that was used to secure it in there as well.
Can you please have the next slide, which is, I believe, 23?
Do we want to circle that? Do we want to print that, 22.1?
Yes, Judge, I'm sorry.
So this is S1E, slide 22.1. Detective, if you don't mind just doing the undo button, if you remember. Thank you.
Have the next slide now, please. Detective, this is just a little bit of a different angle on this picture, but what, if anything, do you see in this photo?
To the left of the panel, on the floor, I see the meter pan cover and the meter in the shrub there.
Can you circle those for us, please? Now, you testified previously when you were on the stand that when you arrived, you were over by Keith's body and you made some observations about this particular area.
Yes.
Are those the observations that you were referring to, the door and the meter on the floor?
Yes.
On the ground? If we could please have the next slide.
Do you want that captured?
Yes, I'm sorry.
23.1.
Undo?
Yes, please.
Slide 24, please. And sir, what is this that we're looking at?
That is the meter from the meter pan.
And is that how you found it?
Yes.
Can we please have slide, it's going to be S1C, slide 128. Detective, you had previously testified that when you were over by the electrical meter after you arrived, you received notification from a firefighter to come over to this particular area. Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay, and what was over in this particular area?
That is where the live round of ammunition was located and where I placed the orange traffic cone.
Can we please have slide 129? Is that just a little bit closer up?
Yes.
And slide 130, please. What are we looking at here?
The round of ammunition that was found on the floor.
Okay, thank you. You can take them down. Detective, I believe we're into now the next day of your investigation, so that would it be 11/21/18?
Yes.
All right, and I think you said last time, but just to clarify, that from Pennsylvania you had gone back to the scene at about 1 a.m.
Yes.
Okay, and when you arrived on the scene, what were your observations?
Fire operations had concluded. There was a manned engine company for fire watch, and the scene was secured by Monmouth County Prosecutor's Office and Colts Neck Police Office.
Did you go home from there that night? Got some sleep?
Yes.
And the next morning at about 8 a.m., where did you go?
Back to the scene.
And who was there when you arrived?
I met Detective Petrozello there. There were members of Colts Neck Township Police, Prosecutor's Office, firefighters. Due to structural concerns, members from the USAR, Urban Search and Rescue Group, and the Neptune Township Office of Emergency Management were there.
Okay, and what were they doing there?
They were brought in to secure the location and shore it up to ensure that it did not collapse.
And do you recall what specific location, was there a specific location in the house that they were concerned that would collapse?
I believe they went into the basement of the location. They were concerned that due to the fire, there was a chance that it was going to collapse.
And did they do what they had to do to make that area safe?
Yes.
On that particular day, what, if any, other detectives from the Monmouth County Prosecutor's Office were assigned to this case?
There were several from forensics and Detective Bassinders.
Detective Bassender?
Bassender. Sorry.
Okay, and do you know what unit she was in?
Financial crimes.
Did you leave the scene of 15 Willowbrook Road at some point that afternoon?
Yes.
Where did you go?
I believe we went to the office in Asbury Park.
Okay, do you recall where specifically that was?
I couldn't remember the exact address, 7-something Cookman Avenue.
Cookman Avenue?
Yes.
Okay, and when you say the office, whose office are you talking about?
That was where Keith and Paul Caneiro's office for Square One and Echo Star was located.
Okay, who went specifically with you?
Detective Petrozello.
Why did the two of you go there?
We wanted to make contact with Tiffany Rivera,
Who was she?
the office manager.
Did you make contact with her at that point?
Not at the location, we did speak to her by phone.
Okay, and later that day, did you actually meet with Tiffany Rivera in person?
Yes,
Where was that?
at the Monmouth County Prosecutor's Office.
Did you end up taking a formal statement from her that day?
Not that day, no.
A couple of days later, did you take a formal statement from her?
Yes.
Okay. Nonetheless, on that day, so on the 21st, did you and Detective Petrozello speak with Tiffany?
Yes.
And did she provide you with information?
She gave us basics on the business structure, some financials. I don't remember exact details. I apologize.
At about 7:13 p.m. that night, did you receive anything from Ms. Rivera?
She sent an email that was requested. The email was some conversations that she and Keith had via text message.
Do you recall who else gave, do you recall if anyone gave a formal statement on the 21st?
We spoke with Corey Caneiro
Okay, and do you remember where that took place?
at the Monmouth County Prosecutor's Office.
And I guess when I say formal statement, just to clarify, was it like a typed written question and answer statement that you took from him?
Yes, myself, Detective Petrozello, there was a typist there, a secretary, and questions were asked, he answered, and they were formalized.
I want to draw your attention ahead a little bit now to about 7 p.m. that night of November 21st. What, if anything, happened with regard to yourself and the investigative team?
We had a meeting at the Colts Neck Township Municipal Court building.
I don't want you to tell us anything that was said, but what was the purpose of that meeting?
Everybody came together in the same location to discuss where we were in the investigation.
When you say everybody, can you just tell us generally who, from what departments? You don't have to say specifically, but who are we talking about?
So members of the forensics unit from the prosecutor's office were there, myself, Detective Petrozello, members of the investigative team from the Ocean Township location were on scene. Their administration or higher-ups from all of the agencies were present as well.
And what is the point of sharing information between the investigative team?
So we're all on the same page where we are collectively. If additional things need to be taken care of, that would be the point where we would start, I guess, assigning them to the different people.
And is that important for you to know as the lead detective from Colts Neck?
Yes.
So what specific, and don't tell me anything anyone was said, but did you learn of other evidence that had been gathered by other investigators with regard to this case?
Yes.
What types of evidence was that you learned about?
Forensics had collected ballistic evidence from the scene. There were many pieces of evidence collected from both scenes, actually.
Okay, and you learned about those pieces of evidence?
Yes.
At that point, did you, again, you don't tell us anything that was said, but did you receive any preliminary results from any agencies?
Yes.
From where?
From the Ocean Township location.
Okay, and was it from the medical examiners as well?
Medical examiners had given a very preliminary based on their examination of the bodies.
Did you learn about any evidence that had been collected thus far from any vehicles?
Yes, from the Ocean Township location.
The next day, November 22nd of 2018, was that a Thursday?
Yes.
Was that Thanksgiving?
Yes.
All right, so the day after that, November 23rd, that morning, where did you go?
I responded to the Ocean Township location, 27 Hilton Drive.
Who did you go with?
Myself, I met Detective Petrozello there.
Who else was on scene at 27 Tilton Drive that day?
There were many members from Ocean Township, the prosecutor's office, and 2 members of the state police.
Who were they?
2 canine handlers. Trooper Coking, another trooper, I don't remember his name, and they brought a cadaver dog with them.
Okay, and what, if anything, did you see those troopers and that cadaver dog do?
The trooper gave commands to his canine to search for specific evidence that he's trained to, and he went in there and located that evidence.
Do you know where the evidence?
Can we go to the sidebar?
Sure. I'm going to sustain the objection. So anything that that was identified by this witness or just testified to as it deals with what the canine dog may have hit on or identified, that's going to be for a different witness, not for this witness. So that last answer, I'm just going to ask to strike it from the record and for you to use that eraser, okay? Thank you all. Go ahead.
Thank you, Judge. Sir, I just want to know what your observations were with regard to any evidence that may have been collected from the scene of 27 Tilton that morning.
They recovered some clothing from the residence that believed had blood on it.
Where specifically in the residence?
It was located in the basement of the residence.
Thank you. After you left the scene of 27 Tilton that day, where did you go?
I believe we executed a search warrant that night.
Did you go back to 15 Willowbrook Road?
Yes, after that.
Okay. And who were you with?
Detective Petrozello, we met there.
Was anyone from the crime scene unit or forensics there as well?
Yes.
What, if any, information did you gather when you went back to 15 Willowbrook Road?
That they were still recovering evidence from the location.
And at that time, did you have occasion to make any observations of the generator behind those shrubs?
Yes.
Okay. And what, if anything, did you note about that generator?
I collected information from the generator to make contact with the company that serviced it.
What company was that?
Wash Hour, I believe was the name.
Did you, in fact, reach out to that company that day?
Yes.
Who did you speak to from there?
Sorry, I don't recall his name.
When you spoke to that individual, were any requests made by you of that individual?
Yes.
What was that?
Any service records that were available for it. And the person that I spoke to, and I don't recall his name, but he was the actual service technician for the generator itself. And he arranged to meet with us to do an inspection of the generator.
And when was the arrangement to meet?
I believe it was for the next day.
Okay, so let's go to the next day at about 9:30 a.m. Where did you go?
To 15 Willowbrook Drive.
Now, when you got there, were forensics still on scene?
Yes.
Okay, what, if anything, did you observe about what they had done to the yard?
They were sifting some dirt for ballistic evidence.
About 10 a.m., who showed up on scene?
Had representatives from Wash Hour, the fire departments, including Colts Neck and Naval Weapons Station Earl, members of the ATF, and the representative from Wash Hour were there.
Now, the representative from Wash Hour, what, if anything, did you see him do there?
We requested he conduct an inspection of the generator for us.
Did he do that?
Yes, he did.
Did you make observations about that?
Yes.
And what specifically did you see him doing?
While he was inspecting the generator, it was noted that one of the switches that was not normally accessible was in the off position. The gas to the generator was into the off position as well. He was able to start it to demonstrate that it did work.
I think you might have said it, but were members of the ATF there as well?
Yes.
What was their role?
They were brought in to do, because of the scale of the fire, to help with the electrical inspections and engineering.
Was the scene ultimately released that day on 11/24?
Yes.
Okay. And can you just explain what it means to release the scene?
Once the police or fire can finish all of their investigative work at the scene, there's no longer a need for us to hold it. We'll release it back to representatives from the family or the family themselves.
Now, just because the scene is released, does that mean that your investigation concludes?
No.
So, drawing your attention now to November 27th of 2018, do you recall speaking with an individual named Stephen Weinstein?
Yes.
And where did you speak with him at?
The Monmouth County Prosecutor's Office.
And who did you speak with him with?
With Detective Petrozello, and I think Detective Basinda was there.
Ultimately, did you obtain a formal statement from Mr. Weinstein?
Yes.
And was that later in January?
Yes.
On November 28th, the next day, do you recall meeting with Ronald Artegis?
Yes.
Did you obtain a formal statement from him that day?
Yes.
And then finally, on 11/29 of 18, do you recall that date?
Yes.
What, if anything, of significance happened with regard to this investigation?
I believe that was when I signed the formal charges against Mr. Caneiro.
And did you remain involved with the investigation after that?
Yes.
Were you present for statements,
Yes.
etc.?
Yes.
I have nothing further.
We can start with cross-examination. Mr. Murray, whenever you're ready.
Okay, thank you, Judge. Detective, good morning.
Good morning.
So I think where you ended with the state just now was at the point in time when you approved formal charges against Paul Caneiro, right?
Yes.
And that took place on November 29th of 2018.
Yes.
Now, as part of the filing of those formal charges, you completed something known as an individual arrest report,
Yes.
and that includes personal details about Paul Caneiro. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
And it's going to include things like his address, right?
Yes.
It's going to have a booking number on it.
Yes.
It's going to indicate things like his height and his weight,
Yes.
marital status.
Yes.
These items were entered into this form for Paul Caneiro in particular, correct?
Yes.
And do you have a recollection of Paul Caneiro's height and weight at the time of arrest on November 29th of 2018?
I do not.
If I were to show you the document, the individual arrest report, would that help you recollect those facts?
If it is written in there, yes.
Okay, Judge, I'm going to approach. This is S409. Detective, do you recognize that?
Yes.
And could you tell us what it is?
It is an arrest report for the Colts Neck Police Department.
Does
For
that-
Paul Caneiro.
For Paul Caneiro,
Yes.
relating to the charges that you approved on November 29th, 2018, correct?
Yes.
Does that document list Paul Caneiro's height and weight at the time of arrest?
Yes.
And could you tell us what what that information is?
The information listed is 5'11" and the weight of 230.
I'm going to take this back, okay?
Okay.
All right, so when you say the weight of 230, obviously I'm sure we all understand this, but just for clarification purposes, we're saying at that time, Paul Caneiro was 230 pounds, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, you testified today about responding to the 15 Willowbrook scene numerous times between November 20th of 2018 and the 27th of 2018, right?
Yes.
Are you familiar with something called a first responding officer's scene entry log?
Yes.
Okay. Could you tell us in general what that is, what that document is?
It would be a log of who entered, when they entered, what agency they're from, when they left.
Okay. And when you say it would be a log of who entered and when they entered, would that be who entered a crime scene?
Yes.
Okay. Was there a first responding officer scene entry log filled out for the 15 Willowbrook scene?
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay. This is S103. Looking at that, do you
Yes.
recognize it?
It's a first responder scene log.
Okay. Is it a first responder scene log for the 15 Willowbrook Road address?
That's what is written on it, yes.
Okay. Is there a date on it?
11/20 of 18.
Okay. Do you see names and agencies
Yes.
on that document?
Yes.
Do you recognize the names?
Most of them, yes.
Okay. Do you recognize the agencies?
Yes.
Okay. And you recognize these as names of people who responded to the scene that day?
Yes.
At 15 Willowbrook, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, this document also, and I can show you if you don't know or don't recall, spans over multiple days.
Okay.
Okay. And that would be common for a scene entry log for a crime scene where there was police and fire involvement over multiple days, right?
Yes.
And the point is that the purpose of this document is to keep an accounting of what members of law enforcement from what agency came onto the property, right?
Yes.
And when they came onto the property.
Yes.
And obviously, this is a multi-page document because there were a number of different police and fire personnel who came onto the 15 Willowbrook property, correct?
Yes.
And they were from a number of different agencies, right?
Yes.
And there was also, aside from there being numerous police and fire response, there were also there was attention about this location from media outlets during this time, right?
Yes.
And there were news helicopters flying over the house, right?
Yes.
Now, wanted to, Detective, if we could, get into some photographs of the location.
Prosecutor, you're okay to publish?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. So you don't have to go through that step, you can just do it on the screen.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
I'll save you the step. Officer.
Sorry, Detective, just 1 second. Okay. Can you see that clearly?
Yes.
Okay. Do you see the property 15 Willowbrook Road in Colts Neck on that photograph?
That looks to be 15 Willowbrook in Colts Neck.
Okay. And that 15 Willowbrook address would be in the area of the center of the photo, right?
Yes.
Okay. Do you see the solar panels depicted in that photo as well?
Yes.
And obviously you did some inspection of those panels as part of your investigation, correct?
Yes.
Towards the top of the photo, do you see a road running across the photo?
Yes.
Is that Willowbrook Road?
Yes.
And then to the left of the photo, do you see another road that appears to run from the top of the photo to the bottom of the photo?
Looks like a driveway.
Okay. Are you familiar with whether that driveway was paved or unpaved around the time of November 20th of 2018?
I don't know.
As part of your investigation in this case, did you ever travel down that driveway to the left in this photo?
No.
Do you see what appears to be a structure towards the bottom of the photo at the end of that driveway? You do?
Yes.
Do you know if that structure, as of November 20th of 2018, was occupied or unoccupied?
No.
It was not, or you don't know?
I do not know.
You don't know. Okay. Towards the top of this photo, between this driveway you've identified, we also see the driveway of 15 Willowbrook depicted towards the top of the photo, correct?
Yes.
Where it meets Willowbrook Road?
Yes.
In between that other driveway and the 15 Willowbrook driveway, we see a tract of land with what appears to be trees on it, right?
In that picture, yes.
Okay. Could I actually ask the detective if he could just circle the area of this photo where you see the trees between the driveway of 15 Willowbrook and the other driveway you identified?
You want all the way to from driveway to driveway?
If you could, however you see it.
So Murray, can you tell me the number one more time? I apologize. Of the actual photo, it's D something. I forgot what it was.
It's captured?
It's captured.
Okay, thank you. This is D1-317.
So this is 317.1 that we just captured.
Detective, as part of your investigation in this case, did you ever walk the area that you just circled in D1-317?
I did not.
You did not. So you did not walk in that circled area to do, let's say, a canvass for potential pieces of evidence, right?
I did not.
Okay. Did you take any measurement from the area of the house, 15 Willowbrook, to the area of the circle in the upper left corner of the photo?
I did not.
Okay. So you did not measure how far it is, let's say, from the end where that other driveway meets 15 Willowbrook Road to where the actual house at 15 Willowbrook Road is?
I personally did not.
Okay. Do you see inside of the circle that you drew on the photo? It would be to the right of the other driveway. Do you see a little area where it looks like you might be able to enter between the trees onto the 15 Willowbrook Road property?
Possibly.
Okay. as part of your investigation of this case, did you ever drive along that area of Willowbrook Road, specifically looking at this area that you circled?
I did not.
Okay. You became aware, I would imagine, at some point, that there was, let me retract that, I apologize. You mentioned a meeting that took place with law enforcement agencies and yourself at the municipal building, right?
Yes.
And the purpose of that was to coordinate the efforts amongst law enforcement, I'm sure to make sure that you weren't duplicating each other's efforts.
Fair, yes.
And to make sure that everybody was apprised of what the agencies were doing, right?
Yes.
And one of the questions with this developing situation is, if there's a perpetrator being looked for, how did that person get on to the 15 Willowbrook property? Right?
Okay. Yes.
I mean, that, you know, that's a question that law enforcement is going to attempt to answer through this investigative process, right?
Yes.
And the indication, as far as you know, is that whoever this person is, this perpetrator that came onto the 15 Willowbrook property, didn't do it by driving down the driveway of 15 Willowbrook.
I don't know that for sure.
You don't know for sure?
No.
Okay. Could you do me a favor? The circle that you've drawn, could you just retract that? It's okay. Did you, in the course of this investigation, get a sense of how big the property at 15 Willowbrook is? And by that I mean, do you know what the land measurements are?
I don't know.
Would it be fair to say that in this time period, November of 2018, you were familiar with the roads surrounding Willowbrook Road in Colesneck?
Yes.
And you were aware that if you were at 15 Willowbrook Road in the driveway, if you went out of the 15 Willowbrook Road driveway and made a left, you'd go to Route 34.
Yes.
And if you made a right, you would go to Longbridge Road.
Yes.
And you're aware that other members of law enforcement who participated in this investigation went on a canvas to look for surveillance from various roads in the Colesneck area.
Yes.
And the purpose of that, as far as you understood, is to see where the person or people who had been on the 15 Willowbrook property, how they got to the location, and and the direction they took to leave the location, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you knew that at some point in time, the road, Longbridge Road, became significant in that investigation, right?
Yes.
And Longbridge Road connects directly with Willowbrook Road, right?
Yes.
It's fair to say that Willowbrook Road comes to a T intersection, and you can make a left or a right onto Longbridge Road from there, right? If you make a right and go and head down Longbridge Road, you come to a body of water, right?
I believe so, yes. I don't work in the town anymore, so it's been some time.
Okay.
Are you speaking of the reservoir?
I'm speaking of, yes, so I think that's Swimming River Reservoir,
Yes.
right? And Longbridge Road actually crosses over Swimming River Reservoir,
Yes.
and where it crosses over Swimming River Reservoir, Longbridge Road is a single lane road. There's traffic going one way in each direction, right?
Yes.
And where the road crosses over the reservoir, there's water on both sides of the road, right?
Yes.
When we're talking about these streets in Colts Neck in 2018, Willowbrook Road was not, if you know, was not a heavily trafficked road late at night, right?
Correct.
Nor was Longbridge Road.
Correct.
Longbridge Road is what we might describe as a rural road, right? It's not a highway.
It is not.
And where Longbridge Road goes over the reservoir on both sides, right? Obviously, it's a bridge. The road is a bridge at that point in time, right?
Yes.
As part of your employment and experience in Colts Neck, I'm sure that prior to November of 2018, you had been on Longbridge Road.
Yes.
You probably had been on it many times, right?
Fair, yes.
And you know that that bridge section of Longbridge Road where it goes over the reservoir, there's just basically a guardrail on both sides of the road.
Yes.
There's not like, for example, high fencing on the road at that section, right?
No.
And as you mentioned before, it's the kind of road where late at night or in the early morning hours, a person traveling on it probably wouldn't expect to encounter other vehicles.
Objection, speculation.
If you know.
No.
No, they wouldn't.
They wouldn't.
Okay. You know that the investigation, and let me clarify this first of all. Obviously, you've testified that this investigation not only involved 15 Willowbrook, but also involved the Tilton Drive address in Ocean, right?
Yes.
But just confining ourselves to Colt's Neck for a moment, okay? You know that the investigation of this case regarding Colt's Neck took place not in more places than just the 15 Willowbrook property, right?
Yes.
You know that officers searched in other parts of Colt's Neck for potential evidence rather than just 15 Willowbrook, right?
Yes.
And you know that about a little over a mile from the 15 Willowbrook property, officers ended up discovering a pair of gloves.
I don't recall that.
You don't recall that?
No.
Okay. But you do know that officers searched for items of evidentiary value in areas other than the 15 Willowbrook property, right?
Yes.
Because at that point in time, nobody knew where important evidence items might be located, right?
Yes.
And obviously, a person who came onto the 15 Willowbrook property to commit these crimes might have disposed of evidence as they were leaving the property, right?
Potentially.
And they might have disposed of evidence along the road as they were traveling away from the property, right?
Potentially, yes.
And what I'm trying to say is that's a reason why you would search elsewhere for evidence, right?
Yes.
And we also know that, going back to Longbridge Road for a second, Longbridge Road, specifically going over this reservoir, is a route that one could take to travel from Colt's Neck to Ocean Township, right?
Potentially, yes.
We saw during your direct examination, the state showed you a photo of a garage door.
Yes.
Okay. Now, that garage door was a door at the 15 Willowbrook property, right?
Yes.
Now, the 15 Willowbrook property, the garage is set up that at the front of the house, it is a 3 garage bay garage, right?
Yes.
And in the back of the garage, there's that 1 garage bay door, right?
Yes.
So that photo we saw before, we were actually looking at the back of the garage.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you became aware over the course of this case that there were cameras located inside of that garage, right?
Yes.
And you became aware over the course of this case that those cameras may have captured something significant in terms of the investigation, right?
Yes.
And because those cameras at around 2:36 in the morning on November 20th record what appears to be a human figure walking by that garage door, right?
I believe so, yes.
Did you ever see the
I
footage?
saw it once a long time ago.
Okay. Judge, I'm just going to approach with, this is slide 217.
Is it the Willowbrook? Is it 1C?
Yes, this is 1C, 217.
Are you going to put it on the screen
I-
or not? You can do whatever you want. If you're going to put it on the screen, I was just going to ask if there was an objection.
I just want to see if he recognizes it first, the photo. He's sitting.
Okay, go ahead.
Just drawing your attention to the top photo.
Yes.
You recognize that?
From the inside of the garage at 15 Millbrook.
Okay. Was this photo significant in the investigation?
Yes.
Okay, well, let me clarify that. Did it capture something that was significant?
It captured what we believe was a person outside the residence prior to the incident occurring.
Okay. When you say prior to the incident occurring, do you mean the early hours of November 20th of 2018?
Yes.
Okay. Is there a time depicted in this photo?
Timestamp on the picture is 2:36 and 02 seconds on 11/20 of 18.
Okay. Thank you.
And that's slide number
This is 217.
217. Okay, thank you.
Judge, this is going to be with the state's consent, 217 and 218.
Okay, go ahead. No objection, right?
No objection.
Okay. Detective, showing you what is 217 on the top, and then S1C slide 218 on the bottom. We just looked at, you and I just looked at the top slide, correct?
Yes.
Appearing to show a human figure walking by that garage door at 2:36 in the morning, right?
Yes.
Below that, we have a daytime photo of that same garage door, correct?
Yes.
And we can see that in that lower photo, that's 218, there are what appear to be frosted panes of the door, right?
Yes.
And there's kind of a metal support structure to the door, right?
Yes.
Now, we see the figure in 217 walking by, and we can see that figure relative to that metal structure on the door, right?
Yes.
Did you make any effort to measure the height of that door?
I did not.
Okay. Did you take any effort to measure, for example, how high it is from the upper half of the metal support structure to the ground?
I did not.
I'm going to remove this slide. So, no measurements were taken by yourself then?
Correct.
As I understand it, that would be useful in determining the height of the person in that photo.
I did not forensically process the scene, so I did not take any measurements.
Okay. You mentioned a person during your direct testimony. This is going back to last week now, okay? you mentioned a person who contacted 911 to report hearing shots early in the morning on November 20th, right?
Yes.
And you said that that person lived about 2 to 3 miles away from 15 Willowbrook Road, right?
Yes.
And you told us that, well, you gave us their last name, right?
Yes.
And you determined this information because you said as part of your job you would daily monitor calls that came in, right?
Yes.
And so you actually found out about this because it's one of the calls that came in the night before, right?
Yes.
Now, you listened to, you found out about it also because, and you listened to the call, right?
At some point, yes.
Okay. And there was a, this call became part of what's known as a CAD report, right?
Yes.
Would you tell us what a CAD is?
It's a computer-aided dispatch record that's created when the 911 call comes in, or any call for service comes in.
When this call came in on the morning of November 20th regarding shots fired, a CAD was created, right?
Yes.
And the CAD would have listed when the call was placed to the police, right?
Yes.
And it would have listed when the caller identified hearing the information about which he was calling, right?
Yes.
And it would have given a brief description of why the caller was calling, right?
Yes.
And the CAD in this case, for that call, describes all those things we just talked about, right?
I believe it did, yes.
Okay. Do you remember when the call from this caller came in?
No.
Okay. Do you remember when they reported hearing the shots?
No.
If I were to show you the CAD report, would that help you to remember?
I would be able to identify those times, yes.
This is D109. Do you recognize that?
It says it's a CAD master table report.
Okay.
This is not the report that I would typically review as part of my day. My report looks different than...
Okay. Well, is this a CAD printout?
Yes.
Okay. Is it a CAD printout about the call that came in for the shots fired?
Yes.
Is it from the relevant period of time?
Yes.
Okay. And I believe you had testified before, meaning last week, that the caller who called had called in from River's Edge and Laird Road.
Yes.
And is that where this caller called in from?
That's the address listed on this report.
Okay. So far we can see that all the information on this document is the same as the CAD that you had reviewed, right?
Yes.
Okay. Does this document indicate the time that the caller called?
According to this report, it was received by telephone at 3:31 and 33 seconds.
And we see that there's a time for when reported.
3:33 and 43 seconds.
So 3:33 and 43 seconds is when this CAD list is reported.
According to this report, yes.
Okay. I'm sorry, this is S1 of 4. When you said you had seen a different version of this before, were you talking about this
Yes.
document?
That is the way the report would be generated at the Cul-de-sac Police Department.
Okay. Does it contain the same information that we just went over?
Yes.
Okay. All right, thank you. Now, you obviously became, when you got to the scene, you are the person who placed the traffic cone in the patio area,
Yes.
and you did that because you saw that there was a live round on the ground of the patio area, right?
Yes.
That was, when we're thinking about the property and we're looking, let's say we're looking at the front of the property, 15 Willowbrook. If we're looking at the front of the property, to our right, on the side of the property would be where the patio area is, correct?
Yes.
Okay. That was also the side of the property where spent shell casings were found as part of this investigation, correct?
Yes.
And it was also the side of the property where Keith Caneiro's body was located, right?
Yes.
And it's also the side of the property that the primary bedroom of the house was located on, correct?
I don't know that for sure.
Okay. Did you look at any architectural plans for the home?
No.
And did you do a walkthrough of the home?
Yes.
And you went to the second floor of the home?
Yes.
And you looked in the bedrooms of the home?
Yes.
And you knew that on the second floor there was a balcony?
Yes.
And there was a balcony that you could get to from the second floor by going through a set of sliding glass doors?
Yes.
And you knew that if you went out on that balcony and looked to your right, you'd be looking at the side of the house where the unfired bullet was found, right?
Yes.
And you'd be looking at the side of the house where the shell casings were found?
Yes.
And those doors that you would have come out of to get onto the balcony would lead you into the primary bedroom of the house, right?
Okay, yes.
Okay, so when I'm saying that the primary bedroom is on the same side of the house that the shell casings were found, that's why I'm saying that. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. So that evening, we know that a person called 911 about shots fired around 3:31 in the morning, right?
Yes.
And that person, we know, was 2 to 3 miles away.
Yes.
We have no record of 911 call being made by anyone from 15 Willowbrook, right?
Correct.
Numerous electronics were taken from the home. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
And that would include computers, right? It would include cell phones as well.
Yes.
It would include surveillance systems.
Yes.
Jennifer Caneiro, was her phone ever taken from the residence?
Do not recall.
You don't know?
I don't.
Okay. Do you know, so you don't know if her phone was ever collected?
I don't recall.
You know if her cell phone records were ever obtained?
I do not know.
you know that you weren't the only detective to go to the second floor of the home, right?
Yes.
There were numerous people from the Monmouth County Prosecutor's Office who also went to the second floor of the home, right?
Yes.
And they were doing an investigation to look for anything of evidentiary value, right?
Yes.
And on the first floor of the home, there was an extensive search of the areas of the kitchen, the foyer, and the stairs, right?
Yes.
And debris from the fire was taken from inside the house and brought out and inspected, sifted through outside in the yard, right?
Yes.
And that the sifting and going through that, all that was for the purpose of finding anything that could be of evidentiary value, right?
Yes.
But we don't know, with all that searching, whether Jennifer Caneiro's phone was ever found.
Objection, asked and answered.
He said he doesn't know. So I'm going to sustain the objection.
I'll ask a different way.
Okay.
Phone, just as part of a normal investigation, right? Obtaining phone records can be an important step in the investigation, right?
Yes.
Phone records can tell us who a person is in contact with, right?
Yes.
It can tell us, potentially, where a person was when they made or received a phone call.
Yes.
And you know that phone records were obtained in this case, right?
I believe they were, yes.
Okay. Specifically, your report does indicate that phone records were obtained for Keith Caneiro.
Okay. Yes, if it's in the report, then I wrote yes.
I mean, do you want to see it, or do you?
I could look at the report. It was 7 years ago for me.
I'd be happy to show it to you.
I believe somewhere in the report it says that multiple warrants and affidavits were done as well.
This is S100. Whenever, yeah, go ahead.
Okay?
Okay. Does that document include the report you wrote in this case?
Yes.
And do we see that report starting on page 17 of this document?
Page 18 of 55, yes.
Okay. And that's where your report begins, right?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to just direct your attention to page 46. And to the third full paragraph. You want to read that to yourself?
Okay.
Okay. So we do know that phone records were obtained in this case, right?
Yes.
And they were obtained for, in particular, Keith Caneiro, right?
Yes.
And another thing that phone records do is potentially show us where a phone has traveled to, right?
Yes.
Because when a person receives a call or a text, it comes to them from a cell tower, right?
Yes.
And that cell tower has a certain geographic range that it can reach to, right?
Yes.
So I know if I have phone records showing me that a person, or I shouldn't say a person, but showing me that a person's phone bounced off of a certain cell tower, I would know that phone was in the geographic range of that tower, right?
Yes.
Okay. So if you are conducting an investigation and you cannot locate, let's say, a person's phone, you might be able to use phone records to see where that phone traveled to, right?
Yes.
Okay. But your testimony is you don't remember if phone records were requested for Jennifer Caneiro's phone.
I do not recall.
Okay. The property, you had mentioned during your direct thing that the property was cleared by law enforcement and turned back over to the appropriate people, right?
Yes.
And so basically that's an indication that at some point in here, police and fire had concluded what they needed to do on the property. They could release it to whoever, either the homeowner or somebody else, right?
Yes.
And in this particular case, there was an insurance company involved.
Yes.
And that insurance company was involved with securing the property, right?
Yes.
And that insurance company was AIG.
I believe so.
And AIG was involved because they were actually the insurers of the home, 15 Willowbrook, right?
I believe so.
AIG conducted an evaluation of what items were within the property, right?
Okay. I guess.
Sir, if you don't know, you say I don't know. Don't say okay, because then we don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know the answer to what AIG did at the property.
Okay. Did you ever speak with any representatives from AIG about what they did at the property?
I personally did not.
You were, just so we're clear, and let me ask you this question first, actually. When you say you personally did not, does that mean somebody else in law enforcement did speak with them and told you about it?
I don't know the answer to that.
Okay. So you don't know if, so you didn't speak with them, but you also don't know if anybody from law enforcement ever did.
Correct.
Okay. Now, you were the lead detective for Coltsneck on this case, right?
Yes.
And what does it mean to be the lead detective?
I don't understand the question.
Well, so the words you've used are lead detective. So it's detective who's leading the investigation.
Yes.
Okay. And what does it mean to lead an investigation?
Determine what needs to get done at the scene, who to interview and other parts of the investigation, But while I was the lead detective for Colts Neck, I had a partner from the Monmouth County Prosecutor's Office, and we were co-investigating this case.
Indicating, I suppose, that some of these things that you're not sure if they were done or not could have been done by the person co-leading the investigation.
Yes,
But you don't know if they were.
I don't recall. It's been some time.
Just so the jury's aware, the person you're talking about who was co-leading the investigation, that's Detective Petrozello.
Correct.
Okay. So you're saying, since you don't remember whether these things happened, we should ask Detective Petrozello, right?
Objection.
I'm not sure that this is a proper question. I mean, you're asking him if you should ask somebody else? Is that what your question is?
I'm saying if he doesn't have the information, is he implying that the other detective does?
I don't know. That's a proper question. If you can answer it, go ahead.
I don't know the answer to that.
You mentioned in your report the idea of creating a timeline of events for what happened in this case.
Yes.
A timeline would establish what items of significance happened when, right? A timeline gives us an order for a series of events, right?
Yes.
And a timeline is an important investigative tool. Is that fair?
Yes.
You mention in your report that I think the timeline would include not only events that took place on the 15 Willowbrook property, but events that show when people of interest came onto the property and left the property, right?
Yes.
And when they might have been driving down the road away from the property, right?
Yes.
And one of the things that you put in your timeline is that a vehicle of interest, in this case, is seen driving away from the property at 3:45 in the morning.
Yes.
You've also, I think, would agree that it would be important to put in the timeline when events like the cutting of power to the home took place, right?
Yes.
There was the de-energizing of the home, and then there was also perhaps some manipulation that happened with the generator, right?
Yes.
And there was also a Verizon Fios line to the house that was cut, right?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Did you document the times that it was believed that those items took place?
They might be in the report. I don't recall them.
Okay. Do you know if they are or are not?
I don't recall.
Okay. If you, I think you'd agree that those are significant, right?
Yes.
They're a significant part of this investigation.
Yes.
So if you knew them specifically, you would place them in the report.
Yes.
You also learned through the course of this investigation that the surveillance systems at 15 Willowbrook, at least primarily, were cloud-based.
Yes.
That there had previously been hardwired systems on the property, but they were switched to cloud systems because there were issues with the hardwired systems.
Yes.
Do you know what the issues with the hardwired systems were? No. You just know there were issues that led them to move to the cloud, right?
Yes.
Okay. One of the things that you noticed when you came onto the property, as far as surveillance, was that there was a Nest doorbell camera.
Yes.
And that camera is in the front part of the house, right? It's not at the front door, but it's at that side service entrance next to the garage, right?
Yes.
And that's a doorbell camera that captures some area in the front driveway area of the house, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, are you aware that that was, or do you know if that was a motion-activated camera?
I do not know.
Okay. Did you ever review footage from that camera?
I don't recall.
Do you know if footage from that camera was ever sought out or obtained by law enforcement?
Possibly, I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
Okay. Thank you. This is previously published. Judge, this was previously published, D1-1.
Right.
Showing you what's been previously published, Detective, as D1-1. Do you recognize that as the front of 15 Willowbrook?
Yes.
And do you see in the upper right-hand corner of the photo it says Nest,
Yes.
indicating that this is taken by the Nest camera?
Yes.
This is the area, looking from the vantage point of this camera, this is the area where you saw the Ring doorbell.
The video doorbell, yes.
The video doorbell, I'm sorry. So this would appear to you, this item as marked D1-1 would appear to be video from that video doorbell. A still shot of video from that doorbell, right?
Yes.
Okay. You mentioned taking a number of statements from people in the case, right? And you participated in statements involving Tiffany Rivera, right?
Yes.
And Steve Weinstein,
Yes.
and Ron Ortigas,
Yes.
and Detective Bassender also participated in all those interviews.
Some of them, yes.
And she actually was involved in this case because she was involved in financial crimes.
Yes.
And you were looking at this case in terms of how finances potentially played a part in it, right?
Yes.
And specifically, you were looking at things that could go to motivation for the crimes, right?
Yes.
And obviously, when you were conducting these interviews with Steve Weinstein and Ron Artigas and Tiffany Rivera, that idea of motive is something that you were interested in exploring, right?
Yes.
Tiffany also was going to be an important person to talk to because she, as far as you understood, knew both Keith and Paul, right?
Yes.
And knew them in terms of their business relationship, right?
Yes.
You went to 705 Cookman Avenue in Asbury Park, right?
Yes.
That was the location of their business.
Yes.
Tiffany also worked there, right?
Yes.
You knew that when you went to the location?
Yes.
In fact, you went there hoping that you would speak to her at that location,
Yes.
but she wasn't there.
Yes.
So you talked to her later that day.
Yes.
And your report indicates that you talked to her fairly extensively that day, right?
Yes.
And you recount that. You don't need to tell me what was said, but your report recounts what took place during that conversation, right?
Yes.
And it's about over a page and a half of your single-spaced report goes to recounting that conversation with Tiffany.
Yes.
You also mentioned that Detective Bassender was on scene at 15 Willowbrook, right?
I don't remember seeing her that day.
I'm sorry, when you testified earlier today, I thought you said that on November 21st, when you were at 15 Willowbrook, Detective Bassender was there.
I don't recall.
Did I mishear you?
I don't recall saying that she was there that day.
Okay. All right. Well, and maybe I'm mistaken, but obviously she was present when you went to speak with Tiffany Rivera, right?
I believe she was present during one of the interviews at the Monmouth County Prosecutor's Office.
And she was present during the interview with Steve Weinstein.
I believe so, yes.
Do you want to see your report?
I'm okay right now.
Okay. All right. So your memory is she was present for that.
Yes.
Okay. And she was present for the interview with Ron Artigas.
Yes.
Okay. And obviously, like Tiffany Rivera, you're meeting with these people so you can get background on financial information that could be relevant to your investigation, right?
Yes.
You are aware that, and I think you testified last week, that when you first got to the property at 15 Willowbrook, you obviously didn't know who was still inside the house, right?
Correct.
And there was a point in time where you thought that the babysitter could still be inside the house.
Correct.
But over the course of that day, you learned that that person is not in the house, right?
Correct.
You also learned that person's name.
At some point, yes.
Okay. And that person's name was Claudia Tamayo.
Yes.
Do you want me to show you? If I were to show you your report, would that help you refresh your recollection? Okay.
This is for Claudia's name, you're saying?
Yeah, just for her last name.
Do you have any reason to disagree with what you're being asked as what her last name was?
No, Your Honor, if it's in that report, that was the name that was provided to me.
Okay. I'm going to save you the step.
Okay.
That's the name.
Okay. So this was Claudia Tamayo. Okay. Claudia is identified through this investigation as the babysitter of Keith and Jennifer's children, right?
Yes.
And actually, law enforcement officers take a statement from her, right?
Yes.
And now, law enforcement wanted to speak with her because she was at that house very often, right?
Yes.
And knew who would come over to the house to visit the people she babysat for, right?
Yes.
And she knew who came and went from the house, right?
Object to the speculation of what she did.
One of the reasons you would want to speak to her is because you believe that she may have information of that nature, right?
Yes.
So, you also found out, let me start this way. The person who you identified in the CAD report that we talked about, who called 911 about the shots,
Yes.
that's the only person who called 911.
I called 911, yes.
And you answered that way because you learned through the investigation that other people heard something they believed to be gunshots that night, right?
Yes.
But those people, as far as you understand, did not call the police.
Correct.
And they may have given various explanations for why they didn't, but in the end, they didn't call the police, right?
Correct.
Okay. Colts Neck is a rural town in New Jersey, right?
Yes.
There are a lot of farms there.
Yes.
There are a lot of livestock there.
Yes.
People, there's hunting that takes place, right?
Yes.
Do people hunt at, are you allowed to hunt at night in Colts Neck? Or, let me clarify, were you allowed to hunt at night in November of 2018?
No, I don't believe it's legal to hunt during those hours.
You spoke with Corey Caneiro on more than one occasion as far as this investigation, right?
Yes.
One time you spoke with Corey Caneiro, you were in Pennsylvania,
Yes.
and you drove to Pennsylvania to meet with him there, right?
Yes.
And you did ask, before you drove all the way out there, obviously you were involved in this investigating the scene at 15 Willowbrook, right?
Yes.
And so I'm sure you didn't want to leave that investigation to drive all the way out to Pennsylvania unless you had to, right?
Yes.
It would have been obviously more convenient for your investigation if Corey Caneiro had come to you, right?
Yes.
But that you determined was not going to be possible, right?
Correct.
And if you wanted to talk to him that night, you would need to drive to Pennsylvania.
Yes.
And that was because Corey had a medical condition that prevented him from driving at night?
That was what was told to Detective Petrozello and I, yes.
Told to Detective Petrozello by Corey.
Yes.
after speaking with Morty in Pennsylvania, you then, several days later, take a formal statement from him?
The next day.
The next day, I'm sorry. Take a formal statement.
Yes.
At the conclusion of that statement, do you continue to investigate this case in terms of obtaining any further documents for Corey Caneiro?
I don't recall if we asked him for any additional documents.
Okay. Did you subpoena any documents pertaining to Corey Caneiro?
I did not know.
Did you contact any companies, phone companies, banks, things of that nature, about obtaining any records for Corey Caneiro?
I did not know.
You said during your direct that on one of your returns to the 15 Willowbrook property, you saw forensic personnel from the prosecutor's office sifting through dirt in the ground, right?
Yes.
And they were specifically looking for ballistic evidence?
That and any evidence that would be there.
Okay. And your understanding is that they dug in the dirt and found some additional ballistic evidence, is that right?
Yes.
And that was located in the ground underneath of where Keith Caneiro was found lying, right?
Yes.
And that was included in what was found there was a shell casing, right?
I believe so, yes.
When you say you believe so, do you...
There was ballistic evidence recovered. I don't remember exactly what it was.
Your report would indicate what it was, right?
Yes.
I'm showing you S100 again.
Mm-hmm.
Your report, this is page 33 of 55. Just referring you to the second full paragraph from the bottom.
From the bottom?
Yeah. Second full paragraph.
This one here you want to go to?
Yes.
The DNA part of it? You're pointing to this?
Yeah, I'm
paragraph?
sorry, I'm pointing you there. I'm sorry.
They were projectiles found during the forensic investigation.
Okay. So underneath of Keith was a Does it say that it was additional casings that were located?
They advised that additional casings were located, including inside the house and in the ground where Keith was located.
Okay. So in that section of dirt where the forensics team was digging, they did locate a shell casing.
Yes.
Correct? Okay. as part of this investigation, did you ever have conversations with law enforcement officers about whether certain items of personal property were missing from the house at 15 Willowbrook?
I don't recall that. I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't.
Okay. Do you know if you ever had contact with any companies about potentially items missing from that location?
I don't remember.
Okay. Do you know, you don't remember doing it yourself, do you know if anybody in the investigation did?
I can't answer to what others did. No.
Okay. Well, if you were aware, but you're not.
I'm not aware.
Okay. Going back to the Ring doorbell, or the doorbell camera on the side entrance of the house.
Okay.
After you noticed it, what efforts did you make to secure any potential footage from that device?
I did not. I believe that came up during the investigative meeting to obtain any surveillance that was available.
Let me understand that answer. You believe it came up during the investigative meeting?
I personally did not acquire any of the video from the location. There were other detectives obtaining information, search warrants, affidavits, whatnot, for various records as needed.
Okay. So you did not send out any requests for information related to that camera? Or any camera?
No.
Okay. Your understanding, though, to go back to what we were talking about before with the cameras in the house, your understanding, though, was that that was a cloud-based camera system?
At some point, yes.
Well, when we say at some point, what I mean is that was a cloud-based camera system as of November 20th of 2018.
Yes.
So, just so everybody here is clear, when we say cloud-based, what do we mean by that?
Storage of the images on the premise.
So, when the device records, the data from the recording goes somewhere other than the physical location of the property.
My understanding, yes.
Okay. At the law enforcement meeting, did it come up to discuss the property we saw in the photo with the long driveway next to 15 Willowbrook?
I don't recall that.
Okay. Do you recall whether anybody discussed going to that property, going to the structure to see if it was occupied or unoccupied?
I do not recall that.
Do you know if somebody actually did go to that structure to see if it was occupied or unoccupied?
Objection.
This has been asked and answered.
In the second statement that, or in the statements that you took from Corey, he provided you with certain email communications, right?
Yes.
And without going into what they were communications between Keith and Paul.
I believe they were.
After you approved charges on November 29th of 2018, you stayed involved with this case, right?
Yes.
And that would mean continuing to go to briefings on the case?
If we had any, yes.
Okay. It would mean speaking with other law enforcement officers about the case?
Yes.
It would mean staying informed about what was happening with the investigation?
Yes.
It would mean being apprised of whether there were any new developments with witnesses, right?
Yes.
Being apprised of any new developments about evidence in the case.
Yes.
And on January 4th of 2019, you had a meeting with Detective Bassender and Detective Petrozello.
Yes.
Did you learn over the course of this that there was a trust, that like the financial instrument, a trust that was potentially significant in this case?
Yes.
And did you learn that that trust included as potential beneficiaries not just Paul but also Corey?
Yes.
And did you learn that as far as being potential beneficiaries, both Paul and Corey were 50-50 beneficiaries in that trust?
Yes.
Meaning that they stood to benefit equally, right?
Yes.
And after learning that, in being updated in this investigation, did you take, at that point, any efforts to additionally investigate Corey?
No.
At that point, did you take any efforts to additionally get any records pertaining to Corey?
No.
At that point, did you take any steps additionally to contact any companies or organizations about Corey?
No.
Or his records?
No.
This was obviously an extremely traumatic event that took place at scene at 15 Willowbrook, right?
Yes.
And something that was totally unexpected for the entire Colts Neck community, right?
Yes.
And something that certainly deeply impacted the Colts Neck community in its aftermath, right?
Yes.
I don't have anything further.
Redirect.
Detective, this is just a little thing, but you were asked about gathering some personal pedigree information from the defendant at the time of the charges. Do you recall that?
Yes.
And I believe the weight that was given was 230.
Yes.
Did you weigh him?
No.
So you're going by what he's telling you, right?
Correct.
Now, the crime scene log, can you just explain a little bit, and maybe I should have asked you this, but how does that work at the crime scene? Like, who establishes it?
An officer is typically designated to be the keeper of the log. He'll identify everybody that's coming into the location, what agency they're from, when they get there, when they leave.
Now, you observed that crime scene log?
Yes, it was shown.
Okay. And Officer Mazzicola, was he the first one on scene?
He was.
Okay. The crime scene log, do you recall that it indicated 1,300 hours?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Why would it say that if he was there a little bit before that?
That was the time that the log was established.
Okay, so the log itself was established at 1,300 or 1 p.m.?
Yes.
Okay. You were asked some questions about the first time that you met with Corey Caneiro in Bethlehem. Do you recall that?
Yes.
Okay. Let me ask you, Detective, was Corey difficult to get in touch with that night?
No.
Did he speak to you or your partner as soon as you called him?
I spoke with Detective Petrozello.
Okay, and did he agree to meet you that night?
Yes.
Okay, and was he in fact cooperative?
Yes.
And he agreed to meet with you again to provide a formal statement?
Yes.
And he actually met with you again the next day and provided a formal statement, is that right?
Yes.
And by the way, did you notice any injuries on Corey Caneiro that night?
No.
Corey, you'd indicated this on cross-examination that he had an eye condition, I believe you said, that prevented him from driving.
Yes.
You were asked about that. Do you recall that?
Not verbatim, but he did have something that would not allow him to drive at night.
Okay. Corey was actually at his in-laws' house with his children that night. Isn't that correct?
Yes. Check.
Already answered.
Well,
Did you meet the children that night?
Not the children, no.
You just met him?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'll sustain the objection. Ladies and gentlemen, as I pointed out to you before, you erased the fact that you heard about the children.
Now, Corey provided you with certain information as it came up on cross-examination regarding emails. Do you recall that?
Yes.
Okay, and those emails were between Keith Caneiro and the defendant. Do you recall that?
Yes.
Did he come into headquarters waving those emails around?
No.
Did Corey essentially provide information to you as you were asking it to him?
Yes.
Detective, there was a lot of talk about the fact that you didn't subpoena any records for Corey Caneiro for any sort of financial records or anything like that, right?
Yes.
To your knowledge, was Corey Caneiro involved with the businesses of Keith and Paul?
No.
To your knowledge, was Corey Caneiro the trustee on the trust document?
Not at that time, no.
To your knowledge, was Corey Caneiro taking money from the trust on a routine basis?
No.
Was there any physical evidence connecting Corey Caneiro to either of the crime scenes?
No.
Yes. I have nothing further.
Any recross?
just two questions. When you say there was no physical evidence connecting Corey to the crime scenes, that would include, I guess, physical evidence like DNA, right?
Yes.
But if no one ever got Corey's DNA, it'd be impossible to answer that question, wouldn't it?
DNA was collected and matched.
I'm asking you, did you collect any, are you aware if DNA was collected from Corey Caneiro?
No, I'm not.
Okay. And without that, could we match Corey's DNA to anything on a crime scene?
No.
No. And injury on Corey, when you met with him in Pennsylvania, you were asked about just now. When you met with Corey, did you ask him to take his shirt off?
No.
You ask him to remove his pants? You tell him you want to take pictures of his body?
No.
Did you photo document his body in any way that
No.
evening? Okay. I have no further questions.
All right, Detective, you can step down.